Welcome to the dry part of the ceremony. I'm told we are going to unveil the sign later, so this will be the dry part so we don't have to stand in the rain too long. My name is Dave Kirk. I'm the Public Information Officer for Owensboro Public Schools, and I'd like to take the time to thank everybody for coming to this very special occasion. I'd like to thank Dr. Brake, John Blaney with the Board of Education, as well as some past board members that I see here, past athletic directors, and we've got a crew here right now, so thank you guys for coming. Today we're celebrating the life and legacy of a state champion coach, player, teacher, veteran, businessman, family man, father, and husband. Coach Bobby Watson didn't just represent Owensboro. Coach Watson was Owensboro. Now I have the distinct honor of introducing Owensboro Representative DJ Johnson, who's got some very exciting news to share with all of us.
Thank you very much. Well, it is my honor and my pleasure to read a joint resolution that was enacted in the last state legislature, the last session we had in March. So if you will join me, I will read the resolution honoring Coach Bobby Watson. A joint resolution directing the Transportation Cabinet to erect signs honoring Bobby Watson, legendary basketball coach and member of the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame. Whereas Bobby Watson graduated from Owensboro High School in 1948, where he was a standout player on the Red Devils' 1948 state tournament team, and whereas Bobby Watson later played basketball at the University of Kentucky, becoming the 5th player in Wildcat history to score 1,000 points in his career, and whereas Bobby Watson was twice named the All-Southeastern Conference first team, was named an All-American in 1952, and was a key member of the Wildcats' 1951 NCAA championship team, and whereas after college, Bobby Watson served in the United States Air Force during the Korean War, and whereas Bobby Watson played one season in the National Basketball Association with the Milwaukee Bucks before his career was cut short by injury, and whereas Bobby Watson then returned home to Owensboro, becoming coach at his alma mater, Owensboro High School, in 1957, and then continuing in that position until 1980. And whereas, quite simply, Bobby Watson was one of the greatest coaches in the storied annals of Kentucky high school basketball. In his 23 years as coach, his Red Devils won 18 district championships, 14 regional championships, and 2 state titles in 1972 and 1980. Whereas Bobby Watson was inducted into the Kentucky High School Athletic Hall of Fame, the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame, the Owensboro Hall of Fame, the Owensboro High School Hall of Achievement, the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame, and finally the Owensboro Walk of Fame. And whereas Bobby Watson is survived by his wife of 60 years, Diane Watson, his daughter, Sean Watson Martin, and his son, Ted Watson. Now therefore, be it resolved by the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the Transportation Cabinet shall erect honorary signs on Kentucky Route 2831 between 17th Street and 20th Street in Owensboro, honoring Coach Bobby Watson. And this is, I figured, this is his home, so it should be here. So thank you very much.
I'd now like to introduce another representative we have, rather a senator, Senator Joe Bowen, to say a few words on our behalf.
Thank you. This is really the fun part of our job, is getting to do these types of things. And I will tell you, I knew Coach Watson from a little bit different perspective as a kid that actually grew up in the county but would come down to the sports center with my dad at a very early age and watch him coach and watch local legends like Coach Embry when he was playing, and just to see Bobby Watson applying the craft that he had so much skill at was a very impressionable endeavor. Just to watch him on the sidelines, he would exude so much respect because of the way that he approached the game. He was always a gentleman. In later years, I got to know him under different circumstances, and his demeanor, if nothing else, just expressed a gentleman, a person of such high integrity. And it's important that we do these types of things, honor our local legends, our heroes of this community. And I think this is an appropriate tribute. And Randy, I want to ask you one thing. I remember as a kid watching some of the coaches in the area, and most coaches, when they would call a timeout, would go like this. But was it Coach Watson that would just go like this? I remember there was one coach in our community, I want to think it was him, that instead of just making this big sign, he'd simply point over to a referee and go like that. And everybody got the message that the man wanted a timeout. So that was just a little point of personal interest, but I can remember him on the sidelines of the Sports Center coaching, obviously, tremendous teams. And what a legend he is, what a proper tribute this is. And DJ, I want to thank you for taking the initiative to get this done, and it's a great evening for all of us. Thank you.
All right, next up, we'll have OHS Principal Mr. John DeLacey say a few words.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening to honor Coach Watson. It's a tremendous occasion. I would especially like to thank David Johnson, Senator Bowen, and the Watson family for everyone who helped to make this event possible tonight. I think it's a great honor. Excuse me. Owensboro High School has been a tradition of excellence for over 150 years now. Within that tradition of excellence, we've heard today that Coach Watson strived for excellence in all aspects of his life. He was a tremendous athlete, a legendary teacher and coach, as well as an outstanding businessman and civic leader. Owensboro High School has been very fortunate to have great alumni, but we consider Coach Watson as one of the greatest of all time. It is our hopes that our students have the same work ethic and drive that Coach Watson had in his lifetime and his life's work. It is an honor for us at Owensboro High School that the section of the street in front of Owensboro High School will be known now as home of Bobby Watson, Hall of Fame coach. We'd like to say thank you again to the Watson family for being here, and thank you again, Mr. Johnson, and all that were a part of making this event happen. Thank you.
Now we have another speaker who I'm sure you're very familiar with, former OHS teacher, coach, and a Mr. Kentucky basketball and baseball winner, Mr. Randy Embry.
What an honor it is tonight to stand before you to honor a great Owensboro legend in Coach Bobby Watson. First, I want to thank Mr. Johnson and who else, Mr. Bowen, for being here tonight and being responsible for having this section out on Fredica be changed to honor Coach Watson. Starts at 17th Street. That's where I was born. Tickled about that. Coach Watson was without one of the greatest human beings I have ever met. One of the all-time favorite individuals, both as a competitor and as a friend. He had a great impact on my life. He taught me the correct way to play basketball and the correct way to coach basketball. He was a man I looked up to and always wanted to be like. Coach Watson always lived under the influence of basketball. He had a house full of trophies, awards, and honors. He played for Coach Mike McGinnis, who coached here at Owensboro High School. He played for Adolph Rupp at the University of Kentucky, had a great career, and he was team captain. He also played some pro basketball. After his playing days were over, he settled it in Owensboro and coached at Owensboro, had a great career coaching the Red Devils. I was fortunate enough to play 3 years for him. We went to the state tournament. His first time he took to the state tournament in 1960, and we came in third place. I also got to coach with him 1 year in 1980, and we won the state tournament. It was fun and I really enjoyed playing for him. His practice were hard, but they were not real long. He was great at getting his players to accept their role, and their players knew their role. Coach Watson knew how to connect with people. When you played for him, it was a lot of fun, and he gave you a lot of freedom. He was a master of not burning out his teams. His teams played hard. They were prepared and well organized. Two things you had to do if you wanted to play for him, and this also came from Coach Rupp. You had to play good defense, and you took good shots. His teams always improved, and they played their best basketball when the tournament started. Even with his successful life in basketball, he had a strong love for his family. He will always be remembered as a great husband, a great father, and a great grandfather. Thank you.
I'd like to now introduce Coach Watson's other half, Miss Diane Watson.
Well, such nice things to be said about such a good person. I want to thank all of you for coming and the nice words that you have said about Bobby. Thank you, Senator and DJ. Appreciate this movement that you've gotten together to honor him. Thank you, Randy, for being so nice to him always, all of his life. I accept this honor, and he would love it. He would be so happy and so very appreciative as me and my family are. Thank you.
All right. Well, those of you that want to brave some water, we are prepared to do that. We're going to go out here and we're going to unveil this sign and show it off to all of Owensboro. Can somebody, Timber, would you mind us holding the ladder?
There's an OHS umbrella right there.
Especially in the soaked rain and water.
I can reach it from that side. Can you reach it? Very nice.
Y'all want to get around it for a couple pictures here? Family want to get around it?
Yeah,
for some
you
pictures?
guys want to gather around there and let's get out. Your family up there.
Who gave me the knife? Here we go.
Should I take my coat off so you can see the red?
Well, yeah, whatever. All right, here we go. A little here. Good to go.
Hey, when you say see you.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
What a great honor that is. We're so pleased. Thank you for
Thank you.
everything. Congratulations. Very well deserved.
Thank you very much.
I just started the ball rolling.
Well, Dad would be very appreciative, like Mom says.
Now, that's right.
First name Tyler?
That's
Ted,
right.
Ted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard Tyler.
That's okay.
I'm very happy. We're pretty evenly matched. They're probably the two better teams around here. So I'd say, Catholic won it last year. We hurt a little bit. It's bringing back bad memories.
I bet.
No, it was great. Kind of 50-50 at this point. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was really tough.
Well deserved. It's good to see you. Tell your son I said hello. Yeah. Damn good to see you. He, of course, was hurt.
So the whole kicker was one of the real keys to showing. So that was really hard. Well, thank you. He did. I've seen him.